Hi, I moved abroad from London a few years ago, and I would say it's been a very up and down journey, but it's been something that has been quite good for me and my family. And people ask me all the time, like, how did you do it? What do you do? Um, am I supposed to find a job? How can I finance moving abroad, etc. And what I can honestly say is you need to just get a plan together. So wherever you are in the world, you need to get a plan together. So if you want to move to Portugal, or you need to move to, or you would like to move to South Africa, Caribbean, or anywhere in the world, I would say start planning that from where you are. So that could be if you are financially secure, great. I guess you can live anywhere. You can buy a house and do all the things. But for us mere mortals, if we want to move abroad, it's going to take some time to plan. And I would say what you need to do is really try to figure out where you're going to live, how you're going to finance that move. So, do you have a remote job? If you don't have a remote job, now's your time to start looking. So you start looking for a remote job, or if you are an entrepreneur or you want to start your own business, I would say now is a good time to start working on growing that business so that you've got sustainable income so that when you move abroad you can do that. I planned my move and it took me a few years till I was actually ready, and not because of the move itself, but due to priorities and work and things like that I had to do and sort of tie up in London. But if you don't have anywhere to live where you're going to, that's another thing. So you need to start thinking about where you're going to live, how you're going to secure a property. Are you going to be paying rent? How much deposit do you need in order to do that? Do you need to pay a rent up front? So do you have a year's rent to pay? If you're going to be buying a house, do you have that deposit money, etc.? So start really putting pen to paper down and sort of figure out what it is that you need to do. But also before that, like, do you have the right to work there? And also, if you do have a remote job, you need to sort of speak to your company and figure out how that works with taxes, etc. But also, maybe sort of start figuring out what kind of VPNs, etc. you can use for work. But also, I would say you need to also start figuring out about, how much money you're going to need to sustain yourself in that new environment. So what's the cost of living? What's the economy like? Will you be spending more there or will you be spending less? So start sort of really researching that country. But also, if you don't have the right to work there, you need to start figuring out, how you can get residences. Really kind of look on those government websites, start filling out applications. If they have nomads, visas and things like that, you need to start really figuring out how long these things are for, what you need to do to apply, and start executing, start getting all your ducks in a row in regards to getting all your paperwork together, really sort of sending in applications, that sort of thing. It's not a very easy road to do, to walk through, but it can be done. And it's once you do move to the place that you desire and you've followed certain application processes, visa requirements, but also you have an income that's sustainable, life on the other side sometimes is really good. And also another thing to realize when you do move abroad is that if you have a family, sometimes that new place is a great place to be in, or you might miss where you were from. So sometimes a trial period of living in that space is a good thing to do. So maybe taking a trip to the place you want to move to, and maybe renting out an Airbnb or a private accommodation for like a month or two or three, just to figure out if you like the weather. If the bugs don't bother you, if you really actually like the people, the environment, where in that country you'd like to live. Maybe you moved into the city, and then as you're living there for that 2-3 month trial period, you might have decided, actually I want to be in the countryside. So it really is worth sort of going back and forth to the place that you decide you want to live at or in, and really kind of doing your research and following process. And once you've done that, everything should be fine. You start executing, you wrap things up, you pack, and all the things. I will let you know how I did it and what actually I did. But those are some pointers if you want to move abroad and if you really kind of want to start making those decisions and those applications. That's pretty much what you do.